10-7 Las Vegas Raiders travel to Cincinnati. They're 10-7 also, but they are AFC North champions. They beat Vegas 32-13 in their matchup this season. Cincinnati, I talk about Joe Burrow, how impressed I've been with him this season and his wide receiving core. How can you go into a season, Coach, with a team that's got a 4,000-plus yard quarterback, a 1,200-yard running back, 1,100-yard wide receiver, and a 1,400-yard wide receiver and not get into the playoffs? Then you got Tyler Boyd right behind everybody that has over 700 yards receiving. This offense has been spectacular, running the ball and throwing the ball, lighting it up. The offensive line's been a lot better than I thought this season. When you look at the Raiders, Coach, this is a team that I don't know how they've done it, but they've been outscored by their opponents by 65 points this year. That's the most in the NFL, and still made the playoffs. And all the distractions they've had with John Gruden and off the field and on the field distractions. And then all of a sudden you finally get Darren Waller, your tight end, back last week. He was not very productive in their game last week. So when you look at the Raiders, this is a team that you don't know how good they're going to be. The one thing they are good at is quarterback. Derek Carr gets criticized each and every year, and I go back and look at his numbers every year, 65%, 67%. This year, 68% completion rate. With all the distractions and problems that he's had, he's kept this team together, and they're in the playoffs. I think this is going to be a really close game. Cincinnati is 5.5-point favorite playing at home, but the Raiders, they're a tough group no matter where they play.
I agree with you. The Bengals, you talk about Burrow, 34 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and I love Jamar Chase. 81 receptions, 1,455 yards, 13 touchdowns for a rookie. But just remember this, they both played together at LSU. And I love Mixon, 1,205 yards, 13 touchdowns. That's impressive. They have created 21 turnovers. That's also impressive. But they're not real good on third down on offense, Mark, and that concerns me. And the other fact, they're only averaging 4 yards per rush. That's not good enough. The stats on offense and defense for them are pretty even. They're not overwhelming on offense or defense. They're pretty much even. Now, the last time the Bengals won the game, Ickey Woods did his playoff shuffle in that. So that's been a long time. Now, most people watching it don't even know who Ickey Woods is, but that's the last time they won a playoff game. Yeah, they should win the game, but let's look at the Raiders. You mentioned all the distractions they have, Mark. They sure have had enough of them, but Derek Carr has kept them together. The coach, the interim coach, should be named a permanent head coach even before this game. I love running back Jacobs, 9 touchdowns running. Renfro's a receiver. But when you look at it all the way along the line, I don't know how they have won 4 of their last 5 games. They're 4 in a row. The Bengals have won 3 of their last 4. But I just think that when you look at this, I think the Raiders are going to find a way. I think they're going to win this game 27-24. Even though they're a 5.5-point underdog, they just found a way to win. And I've never seen a more exciting game than the the Raiders played against the Chargers last week. It came down, if both of them end up in a tie, both would be in the playoff, and Pittsburgh win. It went back and forth, and I can only imagine the Pittsburgh Steelers watching this game. It looked like a tie. However, the Chargers called timeout, upset the Raiders. They kicked a field goal, and that's why the Raiders are here, and I think they're going to make the most of it, Mark. I think the bad boys win this game 27-24, as I mentioned.
I'm looking at this game. Josh Jacobs, the running back for the Raiders, in their 4-game winning streak, he has 376 yards. So he's leading this team running the ball almost 100 yards a game. If they can get that type of production, they will stay in the game. But I still go to Cincinnati. They're going to be cold. It's going to be windy. The Raiders are used to playing indoors. We're going to find out if they can play outside in the cold and the wet in the playoffs. Trey Hendrickson, the defensive end, he's got 14 sacks for Cincinnati. He's going to be instrumental in this game. I've got Cincinnati at home. I just think those young boys, and they've got that attitude and that swagger, that swerve with Joe Burrow at quarterback. They just throw caution to the wind and let it rip. And he throws more long touchdown passes than anybody, 30-plus in the NFL. I think they'll get that done this week. I like Cincinnati winning and covering this game. I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to show out because everybody's going to play this week. Cincinnati wins this game 38-21.
You and I disagree on that, Mark, and one of us will be right, and I hate to say it's going to be me, but we'll see. But you do bring up a great point, Mark. Playing outside is a lot different than playing inside. When you play inside, you got perfect conditions. You have no wind, no chill factor, anything else along that line. All of a sudden, you go outside, it affects the kicking game, affects the ability to throw the football, etc. But just something about this Raider team, they sort of seem to be a team of destiny. I don't think they will get all the way to the Super Bowl, but I do think they get by the Bengals because Ickey Woods is not playing for the Bengals. That's the last time they won a playoff game.